Hi, James. This is Brian. I'm trying to promote you to panelist, and I'm not sure why it's not working. Oh, I don't know. Okay. Okay, good. You just showed up. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks, Brianne.
Pretty quiet in here.
Can you all hear me?
I can hear you.
I am so frustrated. I can't join on my computer, so I have my phone. So I apologize to all of you. This is what we've got. I'm trying to launch the meeting on my computer and I have Zoom. It normally works. It is not working. Now, This is so weird. Oh, well. How you doing, Deborah?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, 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 good. Okay, kid. I think you know what? I'm turning this off and joining on my computer. Ooh. We are now streaming live. And Brianna, I think you're here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 9. Thank goodness we have a quorum. Thank you all for accommodating this meeting too. Okay, can you all hear me now on the, like, thumbs up if you can hear me? Yay, yay, yay. You are like front and center and huge on my computer, Deborah.
I am.
Yeah.
I don't know how to make myself smaller on your computer.
Oh, Brianna, are you there?
Yep, I am.
So other than Stony, do we have anybody else who is not at, has called and said they couldn't make it the meeting?
Nobody else has told me no.
Okay, well, it's 4:04, and because I'm truly am trying to be prompt, I am going to call the meeting to order. Welcome to everyone. Welcome to the public. If you are a cell phone user, you may call 213-338-8477, 253-215-8782, 267-831-0333 to attend the meeting. Landline users may call 888-475-4499, 877-853-5257, and our webinar ID is 853-3133-1330. Our password is 05405. I'd like to remind everyone, and Brianna, this is where you come in so helpful, and so does everyone else. Please press *9 to raise your hand to be recognized for public comment, *6 to mute and unmute. That being said, I would like to ask if we do, I don't see any other people present, I should say, who are not meeting members. And Brianne, help me if I'm missing anyone and not seeing them on my computer. But I'm going to call for public comment if we have any. Doesn't look like we have any, so we'll move ahead to approval of the minutes. Has everyone had a chance to look at the March minutes? And this is where, if y'all want to unmute yourself and say yes, you may. Or raise your hand. Yay. Do we have any corrections or comments? None?
I don't have any.
Now, if there are none, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes for March.
So moved.
And second. Anyone? Tiana second. Oh, well, Tiana raised her hand before you said it, and Dennis.
Okay.
So, any further discussion? That being said, all in favor of approving the March minutes, please raise your hand so we can all see. Great. That was unanimous. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Our next agenda item is budget. We, at this moment, you all have the budget. You've all seen that. The latest contribution was for Stoney's project. I donated that money and that is now shown in the revenue part of the budget. Otherwise, we have had no additional income yet. But to that extent, we are still working on those past percent for art funds. Mirta is working with Dale and with the finance office. So I am hoping that we will see some of those showing up shortly because we could use that money, as we all know. The other thing is our next budget will have a surprise. It will be targeted monies, but thanks to James, he'll get to tell us about that. So I won't go into it, but we will show some income possibly in the May budget, but definitely by June. So otherwise, we are status quo. Does anybody have comments or questions about the budget? It's interesting. I don't know if you saw the revenue. They show that we got it. And then they showed that it was a negative 600 in the balance. But essentially what that means is my understanding is that it now is designated to Stoney's Pack Live project. So perfect. Process procedures. This is just my plea for those of you who have not put together your committee reports for process and procedures, those items that Bree emailed out and we talked about at our last meeting. If you could do that and work on that so we can then put that in our public art file. That would be lovely. Our next thing is number 6 is public art guide. I am, once again, I am thrilled that this is our 16th year of working with the Missoulian for the public art guide. And it should be going to press mid-month. We will be getting 5,000 copies printed and they will be distributed once again throughout Missoula and all of the advertisers. So far, according to the Missoulian, we've had good luck with advertisers. We've had a lot of people come back. And it's moving forward full steam ahead. I think, I've said this more and more and more, or more often than ever, is that public art guide is one of at the airport, it was the #1 publication picked up by travelers, which I think is a tribute to all of you, past members, all of our artwork, and of course, the Missoulian for working with us on this, because it truly is, it's a major marketing piece for us. So the fact that they continue to work with us is phenomenal. And they, granted, we, and some of you have helped too, we help them with advertising ideas, but they truly do the work. And it's a tribute to the community and it's a tribute to the committee. So thanks to all of you who've passed on advertising ideas, and, we will have another one out theoretically around Memorial Day.
Is there a little squib in the brochure acknowledging the Missoulian's contribution?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, there is, and we acknowledge the mayor, the city council, all the committee members will be in it. We do have the Q&A about public art in the back, and then our quotes, and they're from people who have written comments in the guides before. So, but yeah, it is, it's a great partnership. It really is. And I'm thrilled that even with their printing, even if this is not printed in Helena, they send it out, but the fact that they're still doing this and Cultural Treasures, which is the statewide cultural book that I think you all have seen, I think is phenomenal. So it's a tribute to us. Next on the agenda, and I'm so glad we have a quorum, because Bree emailed the traffic signal box art call. We do, as I mean, we've been talking about this and talking about this. We obviously, last year I put together a grant with the Grant Creek neighborhood, and just with COVID and everything else, we actually did have funding for 5 signal boxes. 3 of them were redos and 2 were brand new. Well, 1 was brand new. 1 is one that we lost and the artist elected not to redo it. So we did 2 last year that were vinyl because they were easy to redo, in essence. And then the remaining $4,500 we will be spending on this project. 1 will be Lillian Nelson's Now That's a Cowboy, which is at that Costco intersection, if you all will. And so she is willing to work with us on our timeline. Typically, you know, what we've done is we've had the art call come in June-ish, and June or July, and then we have the selection, and the execution is over Roots Festival weekend. And so the art call that you're seeing is essentially the same schedule that we used in 2020. So there are 2 boxes, one that is the I-90 westbound entrance, and then the other one is at Reserve in Howard, which is where just past the Hilton Garden Inn on the east side of Reserve, in that hard corner. And that was the signal box that was coloring music. It was the pianos, and it was actually one of our high school students that did that. So it was really exciting. So we'll have those 2. There may be, I am trying to still get $1,500 for the Third and Russell one. I have not had confirmation on that yet. Our art call does allow us to add a signal box and make changes to the art call as we see fit. But, you know, in the grand scheme of things, we're running out of signal boxes. We have over 70. We've done, with the replacements, we've done well over 70 traffic signal boxes. And I'm still proud of the fact that we helped everybody else in the state get started with that program. So this art call, pretty standard in that, and I think you've all seen it maybe before, in that we outline the project, we talk about the 2 locations, we talk about the awards. Once again, in this case, we designate the materials, either the vinyl or the golden paints. And for those of you who haven't been part of the project before, one being that the vinyl allows us to work with artists who are not painters, and any artists, from photographers to soft sculptures to essentially any art medium can be reproduced on that vinyl. The painters, again, the reason we've long specified the golden paints is because they're good, long-lasting artist mural paints. So essentially, we're looking at having, sorry, I have a tickle in my throat. The deadline for pieces would be after July 4th, so Monday, July 8th, with the selection committee meeting the 19th through the 21st, with the selection on July 22nd, interviews August 2nd through 4th, with the finalists picked on August 5th. I'm so sorry, you all. Which gives us enough time to get the checks run so that the artists can have money in hand, their first check of $750 at the beginning, Friday, the 26th. So they will be able to produce their signal boxes the 26th through the 31st. We will walk around and make sure they're doing what they said they would do throughout that time period, but also approve them on Thursday, September 1st, and celebrate on Friday, September 2nd. And I want y'all to know too that the Grand Creek neighborhood is integral in this time frame and all of that as well. So the other thing is that we take advantage of free advertising. I think most of you know this is open to artists throughout Missoula County and only Missoula County. But Bree and I will make every effort to use every aspect to get the call out there. It's sad that we only have 2 or maybe 3. I wish we had more signal boxes. But in order to get this out, I'm asking that the committee would hopefully look at it and vote to approve it tonight so we can move on with the project. But I would need a motion to accept the art call.
I'll make a motion to approve the traffic signal box project art call.
Thank you, James. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Great, thanks, Deborah. It's been moved and seconded. Do we have any discussion?
I thought it was beautiful.
Well, we tend to get very detailed in art calls. One, because again, James and I have been talking, we have that aesthetic, we have the art aspect of it, and we have the health, safety, and welfare and maintenance aspect of it, all of those left brain things. And it really behooves us as a committee to look at both sides of that coin. And it is frustrating, I know, for some artists and public art. Some artists find that a world of public art is not for them because of that what I call the left brain aspect of it. But thank you, Deborah, I appreciate you saying that. So that being said, if there's no further discussion, we have moved and seconded to accept the art call for the 2022 traffic signal box project. All in favor? If you could raise your hand. Aye. Opposed? Wonderful. I'm so excited. It'll be good to do it again this year with everyone. And I will definitely, you'll all be seeing emails from Bree and I and just about the project and if you have time and how you can help us, et cetera, et cetera. So that it's a good thing. Street art projects. I wish I had like confetti and exclamation and all sorts of fun stuff to celebrate. But James, this is your baby.
So the Lewis and Clark neighborhood this year will be hosting a neighborhood organized and city organized street event. The former Higgins and now Bear Tracks Bridge with Sunday Streets event has during construction moved towards the neighborhoods. It was previously hosted in the Franklin neighborhood, and Lewis and Clark will be hosting it this year. In anticipation for that event, I submitted a neighborhood grant and was recommended to receive up to $5,300 in funding, specifically for street level art and a community engagement activity that could occur during the Sunday Streets event, which would also create the participation element of the artists. And I don't have a call for art formally built. Certainly not one as filled out as Kathy's yet, but I'm working on it. And I do believe I'll just try to share a screen.
I think Bree has to give you the
approval to do that.
Am I currently sharing? Can anybody see the
Yes,
screen share?
Yep, we
Okay.
can see it. It's looking good, James.
Okay, well, I'm pretty much just going off of, yeah, I'm just, I'll probably ask you for a Word file later, Kathy, to help fill it in some.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm sort of structuring it similarly to the traffic box program. This, of course, is incorporating the activities with transportation department, uh, particularly the bicycle pedestrian department and their neighborhood greenway management program. They're trying to improve pedestrian and cyclist access to a lot of these main primary commuter pathways throughout the city. One of the ways that they've been improving safety has been to construct quick build traffic circles, which increase neighborhood safety by slowing traffic and through otherwise uncontrolled intersections, also eliminates the need for duplicative stop signs, which just waste fuel and energy and take a long time to travel through. So with these quick build construction methods, what we've seen are a couple of primarily volunteer driven activities organized around creating planners and street level artwork to enhance and create cultural expression in the public right of way. So what we're doing with this grant from the neighborhood committee is to create an official public call for art and hopefully an attractive stipend for artists so that we can have multiple applicants and really have a fun whole community-wide engagement opportunity with the Sunday Streets event. So beyond this one-time event, Sunday Streets will likely return to Bear Tracks Bridge, and I'm not sure what other community-supported events would facilitate a community action like this in the future. So it's kind of a unique opportunity this one time. And so the goal of the project is to invite the artists, as we've formally done through traffic circle boxes, to create these beautiful expressions of art in the public right away. For this particular project, it's in the Lewis and Clark neighborhood. There are 3 traffic calming circles. 2, I believe, are on Queen and 1's on Holland, although I kind of get those mixed up. And so what we're hoping to create is an artist stipend of up to $3,000 for painting a traffic circle. And this could be something that we could hopefully sustain and do maybe annually, regardless of what community action events are happening across Missoula. But the grant, partial monies for the grant will cover the stipend for the artists. Kathy and I have been speaking, and we're trying to secure additional funding for paint and supplies to separate from the artist stipend so that the artists will have a clear delineation between the responsibility of the work and what they are expected to pay for out of the money that they receive for their work. We likely do the same type of payment method that Kathy used in the traffic box program. I just have to fill a lot of that in. And the remaining monies of the $5,300 will go towards paint and supplies and activity hosting for the community supported event during Sunday Streets. So not everything, particularly in the budget or the amount of surface area that is needed to be painted is quite nailed down, or what the exact intersection location would be for the artist's mural. But we're still also waiting to receive the funding and get approval from City Council and the review committee from the neighborhood grant advisory committee. But with everything moving forward, we're hoping to create a call for art, which can be brought to this board next month. And we're And the city or the neighborhood of Lewis and Clark is incredibly excited about this opportunity. And I hope that applicants range from all ages and across the whole community, and really looking forward to it.
It's so exciting. I mean, it truly is. I mean, we've all been, with Ben and Madsen, Ben Weiss, who's our transportation, I don't know his official title, James, I know you do. He's transportation coordinator, bicycle pedestrian program director.
He's kind of the director and I think sole member of that office. It's kind of
Well, it's exciting. So we're going to try to have the art call for the May meeting, the third Tuesday in May. Is that what you're thinking, James? Or
to be able to approve the call for art in May is, well, I believe what we were talking about, and then allow a month or so for submissions.
Yeah.
And I believe it will be, the community activity is scheduled in September. So
Right.
there is some time for completion.
I think I've mentioned this in the past, the Public Art Committee for a few years, and we may want to think about this. In the past, what we did is we did chalk art on what is now Bear Tracks Bridge. And we have a ton of, and I still believe we do have a ton of chalk, and we actually paid a stipend to an artist to work with people to make great chalk art drawings on the bridge. So just throwing that out, that might be something we would like to do next year, or I believe we still have a lot of chalk, even if there was something and some way to integrate that into this year. I don't want to throw that out to people because we're all working on a lot, but it was so popular and it was a lot of fun. So it's good to see us back with Sunday Streets.
Right.
I like the opportunity this creates a really unique opportunity for art installation in the neighborhoods, and also the overlap of that great event that everybody in the city likes, which is a rare occasion. And additionally, I'm really pleased with the amount of volunteer support and efforts being contributed, I believe, across many different neighborhoods as they're looking towards this neighborhood traffic control opportunity to both create expression and a sense of community in the public streets. So I'm really pleased with all the different avenues that this has become.
So Bree, we will ask your help on this to help get those monies transferred from, once they are officially approved by City Council, into our project budget for public art. And then you'll work with James for allocation, and we can coordinate the disbursement of monies as they need to be dispersed. So we'll put that on the list. Lovely. What, Bree? I'm sorry. Or was that Deborah? Was that you?
Oh, I just was telling James that was nicely done.
Very nicely done. Yeah. Dennis, you're up with our update on Dash, which is, I will say to everyone, is very interesting.
Yeah.
And that could be an understatement. No.
I got an email from Mike. I think I forwarded it to you.
You did, yeah.
And well, he's working on these the hexagons that he glues the mirror, the dichotic glass mirror to, and so he was working on 1 foot diameter hexagons that he was going to use for the sculptures, and then he went to a 2 foot diameter hexagon, which would be better, I think, anyway. But, you know, it would be more appropriate, I think. For,
And more impactful in that space.
yeah, yeah, I think so. So anyway, so he's got those, and he was trying to obtain the mirror for these hexagons, but they're made in Ukraine. And so he was checking on that. It's in a city that hasn't been destroyed yet. And so he's hoping that he can work with the guy and work with getting the material shipped out of there. That was the thing that he was kind of concerned about, was getting the material shipped out of there. And so I guess he's working on that. I emailed him some references that I had of several different sources of people in the business that might have some contacts that he doesn't have, possibly. So I emailed him those, and so I guess he's checking on that. I haven't heard recently from him about that, but anyway, that's what he's waiting on. So he's saying now that he's looking at this next fall for installation. So
Next fall, as in September of this year?
Mhm.
yeah, this year,
Okay.
which is about a year and a half later than when he first contacted us. But anyway, so I filled out all of the paperwork here for the project. And so I got all the information from him. So I can turn that in. I can either email it or mail it.
If you want to email it, can you scan it, Den?
Yeah, I can scan and email
Yeah,
it.
and maybe email it to us, to Bree and I, and then, no, I think that's great. So, you know, when Dennis forwarded that email, I'm like, what next? But then my mind is right, you know, because it's always like, okay, how do you solve these problems? Do we call our congressman and say, look, we have this issue. Is there anything you can, I mean, of all the things in this war-torn world, the glass that he has used, which this is the first time we've heard of it, is from Ukraine. And
Yeah.
so my mind is thinking, okay, who can help in this? And so if anybody can think of anyone or any organization, we can run that by him, because we don't know, he hasn't communicated recently in the last few days, but we don't know if he is working with some organization or group too. I mean, I'm thinking, okay, can we get World Central Kitchen to drive by and pick up glass and bring it back with them? I'm doing, truly my brain is going all over the place. So if you all can think of something, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Dennis was absolutely amazing in providing some potential alternative sources. So we are so lucky to have Dennis involved in this, just with his knowledge of the world of glass. So kudos to you, Dennis. Thank you.
Thanks.
So we will keep everyone updated. We have a new library director. Soon we will have a new sculpture at the library. PAC Live. Stony is not here. And I didn't see that she had emailed us an update, but when we last met, the folks that walk on stilts, first of all, the selection committee did meet and did select artists. And there were two that were not approved or not awarded a time at Sunday Streets at Pack Live. They were two-dimensional artists, and so we think that they did not understand the art call. But the others were all selected, and Stony is working on scheduling them. The one that she thought might do May, be able to do May, can't. So we're looking at June, July, August, and September. And there might be a couple of them doubled up at that time. We are looking for funding sources still for funding the five remaining timeframes, 5 performances during those months. And both local donations as well as Stony let us know that there is a grant opportunity at the state Montana Arts Council level. So she did not have time to work on that. So I've started fleshing something out on that. I've also started, I've talked to a few downtown business people to see if they would be willing to sponsor an event. We're also talking to one of the downtown businesses about the possible use of their parking lot for some of the performances. So it will go on. We will get the money. If I say we will, we will. to fund the artists. Each performance will receive $600, which I think you all know that. So Deb, you were part of some of that. Do you have any additions to add?
No, I don't have anything else. I think I'm signed up to monitor one of those performances, the August one.
Mm-hmm. And James, are you going to monitor, help with? Did you say you were?
Yes, I believe the June,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. There may
And
be
I
a
said
couple
Yeah.
going.
And Stony does have that list. What she can do is get everything to Bree, and Bree can send us all an update. I did not specifically say I would help and take on a specific event because we have our openings here at Berkshire Hathaway every first Friday, but I did say I would sneak out and take photos, etc. I am also working on I have these sandwich boards with changeable sign frame opportunities. So I am going to get one of those made. That's a Pack Live brought to you by the City of Missoula Public Art Committee, and have a space for any donors. And that's going to be another donation because we need to have something. So, but I'm getting some estimates on that now, so I'll keep you all posted, and we'll firm that one up next month. Branding. We had that great presentation in March from Amy, and we have not received anything from her yet, a formal proposal and what it would cost for us. So she did have an art show here at Berkshire, and we talked about it, but I have no details, and I know her life got pretty crazy. So I think I'm presuming she did not have time to put together a proposal in writing for us. So artwork maintenance. That, I think you remember last month, I mentioned that we had that proposal from Mike Gollins on Go With The Flow. I'm still working on getting the paint store, and this is going to work into James's project too, to donate or sell us the paint at cost. As you guys recall, it was a multi-$1,000 project. So, it's not something that has to happen. I mean, yes, we want it to happen as soon as possible, but I don't feel like we are under the gun to get it done in the next couple weeks or so, or the next month. So if anyone wants to help on that project, let me know. But you know, we have some money in our maintenance budget, but it would not cover what he, as y'all know, wouldn't cover what he is requesting for that. So anybody have any comments on that? So it's will not go by the wayside. I mean, we need, obviously, that's part of our responsibility, and the city's responsibility is the TLC of all the artwork.
Do we need?
Oh, sorry, Deborah.
There was one other thing in the minutes last month that said Lillian Nelson would like to clean her Van Buren Street mural this spring again. Have we set aside some money for that?
No, she is going to give us a formal proposal of another $200. But, and that's, did we take that's part of the Rattlesnake Neighborhood topic here, and we can jump to that. But yes, because she hasn't told us exactly how much she would like. I don't have an exact amount, but we paid her 200. And Bree, will you help me on this one? I believe we paid her, or any of you, $200. She and her husband the last time. I'm also, because I'm part of the Rattlesnake Neighborhood, we have a request out for volunteers, because it really is, I mean, it would help a ton if we could get some additional people there to help. So hopefully we will have something. I was actually hoping for last month's meeting, but I will call her and ask her to get us something for this next meeting. Speaking of the Rattlesnake Neighborhood, I mentioned I don't have anything because there was no meeting, but they do not want to give up on that sound wall, which is one of the reasons Lillian's project and the sound wall is why it continues to remain on the agenda. They're looking at different organizations that work in the Rattlesnake. And you know, it really was great that we had that community outreach. There were 4 meetings, 4 or 6. Now I'm remembering last year to talk to people, and we had it on the north side of the freeway, on the east side of Van Buren, and on the west side of Van Buren, and just had different community members come and sit and talk and see what they would like. Some want art, some want plants, some want nothing. So although the latter was the minority. So, you know, I think the Rattlesnake, between the organizations and the outreach that everyone is doing, I think, you know, it will be something that will work for everybody. It might not be an entire mile-long wall covered in art, but it might be something where there's a blend of their ideas. So, cool. Danny isn't here, the Indigenous Mural project, so we will table that. And whew, I think we are about done with our agenda, other than, has anybody seen anything out there, or do we have any ideas of things that we would like to start working on?
Kathy?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yay.
Oh, no, before, I don't have any ideas. I just,
Oh, darn it. Mirta.
I know. I was just really hoping that Danielle would be joining us, because I see that tomorrow for City Council, we are approving an agreement with Northwestern Energy for this project. So it looks like things are moving along, and I just want to know, I guess I wanted to know a little bit more about what this means.
based on what we have before council tomorrow, it looks like it's let me see if I can pull it up. It's an agreement where Northwestern Energy agrees to let the city put public art on the remodel, and presumably the redoing of the station will be done by this fall. So it's fairly quickly, which means conversations with artists need to be, I'm wondering where that is at, because it sounds to me like the wheels are back in motion.
Sounds like the wheels are back in motion, and it would be nice. Who's bringing it to the committee? I mean, to the city council?
Parks and Rec. I just saw it on the agenda last night. So
Well,
we can, yeah, I was surprised too. So if you want, we can chat at some point later today,
Yes.
or just so that you're aware that this is coming, because I think it's going to be an important piece for this committee to be actively engaged in.
Well, the interesting thing is that idea came from this committee, the whole idea of all of this. And when Lisa left, she backed away. Well, she backed away before she left the committee, but interesting. Well, yes, let's figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a very exciting project down there. It's kind of on the way, if you go to the farmer's market. It's changed now when the farmer's market is on the other side, but it's in a location where a lot of people would see it. And those are huge panels. They're like 10-foot by 10-foot, huge panels that would cover that transfer station. And yeah, I think it's a very exciting project, and I think it's something that they'll be very nice to have accomplished. So anyway.
No, and I'm excited that somehow it has kept moving along. And I know Parks and Rec would not leave us out of anything that included public art. So, but yeah, Mirta, maybe you can catch us. We can catch up on it later, and then we can let the committee know too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks. Any announcements for the benefit of the committee? First Friday, I will say, is this coming Friday. We at Berkshire Hathaway, we have Nancy Reshoff showing her paintings. And it's great. I will tell you, last month's First Friday, there were a ton of people downtown. So it was good to see. Anything else, Tiana? Do you have anything going on? Anything musically?
We just did Carmen in Helena, so I'm completely exhausted from that. But no, other than that, no.
Well, keep us posted. So does anyone else have anything? Okay, this is a record-breaking meeting, I think. We've not finished this early, but perhaps we all talked quickly. If everyone's in agreement, we can adjourn the meeting. And we will meet again this month. And one of what we'll be doing, hopefully, is reviewing the art call for the Sunday Streets project. And Dennis will have an update from Michael too. So thanks all. Thanks for participating in this meeting. So we will be adjourned.
Thanks.